Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Stop clapping. I'm serious. Stop clapping. Welcome to Hassawards. I am Mike Hass. I love talking about things that entertain me, and I know you've been waiting for this since the Stone Age. This is me awarding the best films of last year being 2019, the year of rappers dying from drugs. So, let's get into some great films. And television shows, I forgot to say that. I'm also going to be giving away television show award. Just the best show, not the best actor. But my bad for not mentioning that. Let's get into it. This is my opinion, and it is more important than yours. And I'm going to be talking about which movies were special to me and which shows were special to me. Honestly, I love all the movies that I mentioned on this list, and all these movies stuck with me as I left the theater, and all these shows stuck with me after I finished the last episode. And with the shows, it made me want to be more. That's the reason I picked it. And with these movies, I just wanted to rewatch them again. So all of these movies I love to rewatch again and revisit. And actually, one of them being The Lighthouse, I actually got the DVD for. Thank God I got the DVD for this. Fantastic film, The Lighthouse. And, yeah. So we're going to be delving into my favorite movies and TV shows of this year and awarding them in the Hass fashion. So I want you to comment down below what your favorite movies and TV shows was of this year. This year has been very big for me and my channel. I started off doing short movie and TV reviews none of y'all even know about because I did it kind of behind the scenes and didn't really tell anything about it. I was just experimenting with the way I wanted to actually do my film reviews. And it was a great start for me. But I didn't delete all those views. I removed them. And then I did a different way of doing the Hasscast where I had my friends. And it was a really unorganized mess. But it was fun to make. And I had some really fun times talking about movies with my friends on camera. And it gained a following. And then I started to organizingly do it by myself. And I will be bringing my friends back. But having them talk in a more organized fashion. So let's get into the Hassawards. And just thanks for coming. All right, let's get into the Best Film Award. Let's check out the nominees. Alright, so the Good Liar is up there, and people like to say The Irishman is a meditation on old age and how you're making up for your past mistakes. I mean, yeah, it was really good, but it wasn't the best of Scorsese, not even top 10. And the better version of a movie meditating on old age is The Good Liar. It's about a couple that meet online, and it stars Helen Mirren and Ian McKellen, and this couple meets online, and the old man decides to con the woman out of money. So it's really intense. He tries to take all the money for her, and then a dark secret from the past is revealed about those two characters, and it has a great plot twist, and it's really thrilling. It's surprisingly violent. When I saw the trailer, I was saying this isn't gonna be violent, but it actually was in this great thrilling way, and it had these really twisted Dutch angle shots towards the end of it. And this film's really mind-blowing and really a sleeper of 2019, probably due to it being British and starring older actors. But it was the better older actor starring film of the year. Now, our next film would be Triple Frontier, and it stars Oscar Isaac, Ben Affleck, and Pedro Pascal. It's a Netflix film, and it's about a group of military vets that decide to rob a mansion from a cartel leader, and they go through an adventure through the jungle of South America. And for me, adventure is one of my favorite genres, and Pirates of the Caribbean being my favorite adventure series. I think Pirates of the Caribbean, the trilogy is great, but the 4 and 5, ugh. But it starts off fun, we're going to take money type stuff is the movie. And then it delves into some really moral questioning about why they would ever do this and why they decided to do this. And it's just a really compelling story and a sleeper hit of 2019. And there is a great unpredictability sense of the adventureness, and it really is unique. And the beautiful shots of the South American jungle are just fantastic, and it was just great to see for me. And I just feel the horror has been a more popularized genre, but I feel like people will like to see adventure is really unpredictable, and that's why people are kind of afraid of watching it, because they're oh, it's just an adventure movie, you don't know what's going to happen in their subconscious mind. But when they see horror, they know what's going to happen. It's just going to be jump scares and all that. But I feel like adventure, there's more possibilities, and that's why I love the adventure genre, and that's why I love Triple Frontier, so that's why that's on this list. So next film is Shazam, and it's the only comic book film of this year that actually brought something new to the table. And you might say, oh, the Joker brought something new to the table. It's about a loner. He wants to kill people because of how lonely he is in his bad life. Are you serious? Joker was a great movie, slightly, and it's mainly good for its performance, but the writing just borrows from Taxi Driver, the king of comedy, and You Were Never Really Here. You Were Never Really Here is him living with his mom aspect, and Taxi Driver's loneliness aspect and driving through the streets of a really bad city, and the king of comedies, I want to make it famous, so I'm going to forcibly make myself onto a show and attack somebody who's more famous than me. So it's not really original. It didn't bring anything new. Shazam, on the other hand, is about a kid who is able to say Shazam, and then he becomes this really tall superhero. And it's a really relatable thing because it really gets you in the mind of this character. What would you do if you had superpowers? Like, he starts off robbing stuff. Like, it's just hilarious. And it's just, like, really, like, sparkly with its characters, and the orphans in it are just really, it just makes something really unique to the superhero genre. Instead of we're gonna fight some apocalyptic monster from freaking Egypt who wants to take over the world and make the world theirs again. Like, it brings something new. Like, the villain wants the power of the main character because he got canceled and didn't get it when he was a kid. Like, it's, you feel really sympathetic for the villain, and the villain's very well played by Mark Strong, and also Zachary Levi. I'm now a fan of him. I was about to go into his filmography, and he was in Big Mama 2. Like, Big Mama 2, oh my god, I love the Big Mama movies. Like, they're pretty tough. And yeah, Shazam was just a really sleeper hit of this year. I mean, yeah, it made a lot of money and it was well respected, but people just like to say that Joker is a good film. It's good for the incel culture. Shut up. It didn't bring anything new to the genre. Let's be honest. So, The Lighthouse, very obscure film about two lighthouse keepers that go crazy throughout the whole movie, and it's like basically take The Shining, except it's two people trapped in a lighthouse, and it's shorter cut and more competent and more like, I like The Lighthouse better than The Shining. I think The Shining's really overrated, but I feel like The Shining was really good, but like The Lighthouse is like just better. And God, nasal drip got me like, I don't do cocaine. I'm just nasal drip, bro. So I'm sort of a fan of The Shining. This is a more unique, better placed version of this, and it's got huge personality and the comedy they're able to have on this lighthouse, and the odd, ferocious masturbation scenes really just get you a sense of this isolation. And the ending is down to interpretation and the way they just go at it at each other. The two like really insane people, and you think, is there supernatural forces? Is this guy insane? Is that guy insane? Great film. All right. Also, I would like to express my love for the film Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, directed by Quentin Tarantino. I think this is probably his top 3 movies. My number 1 movie of Quentin Tarantino being Reservoir Dogs, due to it being more simple and more competent, more like comprehensive compared to like other films such as like Pulp Fiction and The Hateful Eight. I think that the Reservoir Dogs is probably one of his best. But Once Upon a Time is one of those films that lets you sit and relax with their characters and see how their life is able to change in a more positive direction towards the end of the film. And the film is just so comedically written by Tarantino. The film centers around one actor and one stuntman. They're pretty much buddies, and they work together. It is about the decline of their career and how they decide to pick it back up. And the ending of the film, when they decide to stop the Manson murders. Yes, that is a spoiler. This whole like L Word show has spoilers for each one of those movies. It just shows how they can boost their career by doing such a nice act to protect a actress by the name of Sharon Tate. It's just a great film, and it is very like relaxing, and you just get to relax with each character. It kind of reminds me of The Big Lebowski, how it's just like a relaxing movie, but there is also superficial elements, such as him beating up like hippies who are trying to kick him off the ranch when he was just trying to check on an old friend. Such a great film, and it's a really great ensemble cast, and also gets you in the location and time of Hollywood in the late 60s. and its transition from this late 60s into the 70s, which was a different time for Hollywood compared to the 60s. It really just was a great film. One of Tarantino's best. He didn't try to do something that he was not. He tried to do something that was just about this characters trying to find a better place in life for themselves, and it was just very fantastic, and it actually reminded me sometimes of a couple Seinfeld episodes in a great manner. I really liked Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and it is one of my nominated films for the best film of 2019 in the Hassawards. Uncut Gems. And we got 2 more films left on the best films of 2019. I know I've been saying a lot of movies, but Uncut Gems. This film stuck with me as I left the theater. I mean, it's a thriller about a jeweler who has a bet on his basketball player who is Kevin Garnett, and he tries to dig himself out of this hole of debt that he dug himself into by selling a really big uncut gem and also winning a bet. And has to make up for its thrilling, intense moments that really get you on the edge of your seat and make your heart beat like goes crazy. And it makes up for these big, intense moments with small comedic and relaxing moments with each characters that like 2 characters that love each other. Adam Sandler and Julia Fox's characters, Howie and Julia, they love each other and stuff. And it really just has these small moments, but it's also a really big thrill ride. You know, it's crazy, bro. It's a great movie. And I'm a big Sandler fan. I love his cheesy comedies, but like The Waterboy is just a great cheesy comedy that sends a great message about like getting back at your bullies. And I feel like his whole entire filmography is underrated. And this is just another speck of light on his filmography. Our next film is Motherless Brooklyn, an amazing detective mystery directed by Edward Norton and starring Edward Norton about a detective that has Tourette's syndrome. And his mentor is murdered, and he has to find out who murdered his mentor, this detective. And it really adds a spin to this genre with him having Tourette's syndrome. It makes his character more flamboyant and unique. And what's behind the mystery is just greatly affects the whole city that they're in, and some conspiracy theory level stuff. Motherless Brooklyn was a great film, and it's just got it's got that jazz music, and it's just relaxing, but it's also really thrilling. And it's just like the end was good, and the little jazz aesthetic really did it for me, and I really like this. The winner is Thanksgiving, the masterpiece of horror, and nah, I'm joking. Thanksgiving is a speck of dirt in Thanksgiving. The winner is Uncut Gems. Uncut Gems just like it's just great nightlife, and it's just a smashing, thrilling story, and it's those gem-oriented world just keeps me intrigued, and its humor is so dark, and its characters played excellently by Adam Sandler, and he tries to dig himself out of the hole that he dug for himself, and the ending was tragic in the best possible way. And this film stuck with me. I left the theater also due to its 2012 rap music and it being set in 2012, and it was just a fantastic film. That is the winner of the best film of 2019 for the Hassawards, Uncut Gems, starring Adam Sandler, directed by the Safdie brothers. All right, let's go on to their best actor of 2019, and we're going to start with Edward Norton. This great man who's a detective, and he has Tourette's, and it's just a great detective, and he finds out about this New York level like conspiracy, and it's just like, wow. It's just he played it with great, and his chemistry with his love interest was solid, and he was really good in this film. And I'm a big Edward Norton fan. I think American History X is like his second best, but like Fight Club is up there, and I think The Incredible Hulk is criminally underrated, and I wish he played Hulk in later installments. Adam Sandler is a man who's just digging himself out of this huge hole of debt, and it's just played so very authentic, and he was great in this big panicking way, but he always kept his positive mentality, and he was just great in this. And Robert De Niro in The Irishman was solid. The Irishman's story was not that good. It's a bit too long, and it's a bit really just like Irishman was good in like the first half of it, but like it should have had that wasn't exciting as compared to any other Scorsese films. And you'd be like, oh, it's a meditation on old age. You still gotta make it entertaining. And it would have been better as a miniseries. It just would have been great as a miniseries, and you just watch it part by part. Robert De Niro is just great. He reflects on his old life in this epic crime film, but he's good at looking depressed and cynical, like really just like about the horrible murders that he executes. He's really good at doing that. Robert Downey Jr. plays the role that defined my love for films as a child. Iron Man's sacrifice was just fantastic at the end of Endgame. And the way he used to think for himself in the earlier Marvel movies and the end where he starts to think for other people and sacrifice himself is just well done. And he was just great. I will miss him as Iron Man. He's one of my favorite characters of all of cinema. Now let's get into the last one. Willem Dafoe is crazy flamboyant lighthouse keeper who's suspecting the other lighthouse keeper to be going crazy, but is it him? Is he going crazy? This movie's not an interpretation, and that makes it the best, but he brings this really flamboyant and comedic spice to the film. And Willem Dafoe made this old, grudgy, like, sailor. He really just made the movie, his character, and the way he performed that dialect, that was the sailor dialect. I'm a big sailor guy. I love Pirates of the Caribbean. So his performance was great. The winner is Adam Sandler. The winner for the best performance is Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler, he just tries to be positive as he tries to get himself out of this hole that he dug for himself. And he just tries to maintain his positivity. And his confidence leads to his downfall. And this positive attitude that Adam Sandler brings to the table makes the ending ever so tragic. And it stuck with me as I left the theater. Uncut Gems was great. So, best actress. Let's go to best actress. Helen Mirren. She was a strong woman who wanted to get back at a man who did her wrong many years ago. She has to very articulate how she did things to lie to our main character in order to get back at him of horrible things that he did. And now, the great story complemented her amazing articulate performance and how she had to act. The character had to act like she didn't know anything in the beginning. And it just made the story and her performance her performance and the story made the whole film ever so interesting. And Julia Fox, she was a great part of the movie of Uncut Gems. She was like the only good part of Howard's crappy life. Like, she made the scenes happy and just made a great happy performance, but there's a tragedy in the film. And and also our next one is The Mermaid Who Gets Fucked by Robert Pattinson in The Lighthouse. Great performance. Great. Nah, just joking. And I'm just joking. Gugu Mbatha-Raw was a great love interest in Motherless Brooklyn, and she fitted the story very well and was just very pivotal to the mystery and what was behind the murder in Motherless Brooklyn. Margot Robbie playing Sharon Tate is another nominee, and she showed a positive side to the character instead of just being an actress who just gets killed. She showed the positive version of him, and Quentin Tarantino just showed her like a fun side to her, and it makes a positive, like the character makes Rick Dalton's career positive at the end of the movie. And she was just great in it. And Helen Mirren wins because she was just was really more of a standout than Ian McKellen in The Good Liar, because you really felt sympathetic and happy for her when she gave payback to someone that did her wrong, and it was a very satisfying ending. And when you get to see all the stuff that she articulated, you feel very proud for her. It was a great film. Good Liar, sleeper hit. And also, I haven't seen every film of 2019, and that's probably why there isn't a lot of other critically acclaimed movies on this list. But this is what I'm awarding what I saw. I didn't see every movie, but from what I saw, these are just outstanding movies. Let's go on to the last award, the best television show of the year. The Boys is about a group of wronged people who decide to get back at abusive superheroes who did them wrong. And it's basically if Quentin Tarantino decided to do a superhero show. The dark humor is done in this amazing, violent way, and it's just a great spin on the superhero genre. Very different. Umbrella Academy is about a once great superhero family who decides to get back together to stop the apocalypse due to a prediction from a long-lost brother who travels in time. And it's just a really well written, and the bad guys aren't bad guys. Every character is fleshed out in the most satisfying, entertaining way, and I dug this show and had a great cliffhanger at the end of it. The Mandalorian is, I'm not going to say much on this. It's what true Star Wars is all about. It's all about drifter heroes and heroes fighting oppression and saving people that are really innocent. And it's just, and also Baby Yoda's in it. And what can I say about it that already hasn't been said? And it was a great show. And When They See Us is about 4 wrongly accused African-American kids who are dealing with the before and after effects of prison. And I love prison stories because prison is all about making do with the bad situation you were in. And there's really great moments and happy moments, even though they're in a bad situation. It's one of the most emotional shows I have ever seen. And it's just like, you just feel so emotional, and you think of what could have been if they hadn't been in prison. It's so emotionally well done, and I'm just getting emotional thinking about it. Stranger Things Season 3 is the best season of Stranger Things, and it's fun. It's about fighting evil monsters and Russians, but it makes up for it with great characters, and it just has these really amazing, like, fun teen characters, and as a teen, I can just relate to what the teens are going through in this. And also, there's happy moments brought on by Alexei, the Russian, who's kind of just helps the heroes out. And it's just, I just watched this in the summer with, like, one of my best friends, like, back to back to back each episode. It made my summer. Watching this with the specific friend I watched it with really just made my summer. And the times I had watching this show, it didn't make me want to see another season. It's just, I remember with that specific person, it just really made my summer watching the show, because the show is set in summer during 4th of July, and I watched it during 4th of July, and it just made my summer just fantastic. And who I watched it with, and all those friends I was with, it just, 4th of July weekend was one of the best weekends I've ever had, due to the people I spent it with in the Jersey Shore. And this season just makes it on that list because of how I watched it. And also, the story was just fun, and it was a direct contrast of how my life was at the time I watched it. And this season meant a lot to me. So it gets the award for Best Television Show, and it was just fantastic. And I love Stranger Things Season 3. That's the Hassawards. Thanks for watching. And, 2019 was a great year for content in general. We had some great music. 2018 was better for music, but overall for movies and television, it was just fantastic. Brought conclusion to some big franchises, Rise of Skywalker and Endgame. And I didn't put Endgame on this list because Endgame was more of a part of a 21 movie, if that makes sense. I consider the Infinity Saga to be one movie, so it didn't make it on all this because of that. And Joker wasn't on this list because it wasn't really that unique, and there's too much laughing in it. It's a Joker movie, but like, sometimes I'm like, Joaquin, shut up. We get it, you laugh a lot. It's a study on mental illness. You're not sophisticated just because you like a movie that looks just like Taxi Driver. Like, there's just so many other sleeper hits that came out this year that brought something different to the table of films. And this year brought a lot of remakes and sequels, and I was just like, I'm not going to go see the Lion King remake or Aladdin remake. I never even saw the movies that came out before that. Thanks for watching the Hassawards. Thanks for listening to what I thought of this year's movies and TV shows. It's been a great journey. It's the early 2020, and I'm going to be getting a great short film out soon. I started a film club at my school, and I'll be casting out my thoughts to you on the next Hasscast.